Tonight, we're learning new details about the death of an inmate at the Bexar County Jail, how technical errors delayed attempts to revive him.
Eyewitness News reporter Mariah Medina talked to the sheriff about the investigation into how this happened.
1 a.m. July 5th, an inmate delivering food trays to his fellow inmates at the Bexar County Jail discovers an unconscious inmate, 41-year-old Eric McMustin, who had just been booked on a warrant hours earlier. The report says the inmate delivering food trays told a deputy, quote, "Hey boss, I think we have a dead body," sending the deputy into action. But his response delayed by a dead handheld radio.
I mean, at the risk of making a determination prematurely, I think that the delay, if any, was negligible.
The deputy was forced to run back downstairs and grab a phone, calling a sergeant who instructed the deputy to call the jail's master control and initiate a code blue. The report says approximately 18 minutes elapsed between the discovery of an unresponsive McMustin and when the deputy initiated the medical response.
It could have been that a charger was disconnected or that the radio was not charged after properly between shifts. So we're trying to determine what was behind that. That's all part of it.
The day of McMustin's death, the Eyewitness Wants to Know team tried to verify with the sheriff's office the details of a leaked facility incident report and whether inmate checks mandated by law were performed in a timely manner. The sheriff's office declined to verify the report was authentic, instead sending a statement which read in part, quote, "All checks were conducted within the allotted time frame as mandated by the Texas Commission on Jail Standards."
We really can't authenticate something that was leaked out by somebody with what I have to assume was bad intentions.
The agency has also not responded to a formal open records request for that report. The sheriff's office says they do not yet know how McMustin died and that the circumstances surrounding his death remain under investigation. Mariah Medina, KENS 5 Eyewitness News.